I'm sure you'll vibe with this. Remember how many times you planned to start something, like starting a blog, and you were genuinely hyped about it? You were imagining how it would be, already seeing your future success. The idea was so exciting that you decided to share it with a friend, and then something weird happens. You told your friend and they said, "Cool idea, go for it." But the next day you feel like all your excitement is gone. What just happened? Did your friend jinx you? It's actually more complicated than that. By sharing your plans, you've literally sabotaged yourself. But how? A lot of people think sharing their goals is great because it adds motivation and makes you feel more accountable, but in reality, the more you talk about your intentions, the less likely they are to happen. When you talk about your plans, you're basically giving your brain a false signal that the job is almost done. You get a short-term satisfaction from telling others, and that's the problem. When you brag about your future victories, your subconscious or your brain processes it like you've already reached that success. The brain doesn't really differentiate between something you've already done and something you plan to do, especially if you've already been praised for it. As a result, your motivation starts to tank. You either procrastinate or never take action at all. Why does this happen? First of all, it's because you still haven't subscribed to my channel. Do it right now and you'll stop abandoning things before you even start. Subscribed? Okay, jokes aside. Now let's get to the real reasons. Reason 1. Your brain thinks the job is done. When you share your goals, you're giving your brain a fake reward. In your mind, it feels like the task is already completed. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter that pushes us to chase goals, is released prematurely. And at that point, your motivation drops. You start thinking that achieving your goals is just a formality, that it's guaranteed to happen. So you stop putting in the effort. For example, you decide to write a book. At the very beginning, when the idea first hit you, dopamine was pushing you forward. Your brain saw the task as challenging, interesting, and important. But once you told everyone about your plans, your brain already got its reward, and now it doesn't feel like it needs to work anymore. In the end, the project gets abandoned because there's no inner drive left to keep you going. Reason 2. Social validation messes with you. We live in a society and one of our biggest motivators is recognition. We want people to notice, praise, and acknowledge our efforts. But if you get that praise too early, before you've done anything, that motivation disappears. Picture this. You tell your parents or friends you're going to start a business and they respond with, "Wow, you're awesome. You're definitely going to succeed." You get that social reward early and your brain relaxes. It already thinks you've earned the recognition, so the actual work starts to feel less important. Your motivation drops and your plans remain just words. Reason 3. The fear of failure paralyzes you. When you tell everyone about your plans, you start feeling like you're being watched. Now you really can't mess up. Everyone knows what you're planning, and if you fail, imagine how much of a loser you'll look like in front of them. Fear of failure is one of the worst enemies of creative free thinking. Plus, with that kind of pressure, it's impossible to enjoy what you're doing. This means you won't last long. And let's be real, mistakes are a natural part of any achievement. It's totally fine if you don't succeed the first time. You might fail, but you'll learn something valuable from that failure, something that'll help you adjust and succeed the second or third time around. But when you've already announced to everyone that you're guaranteed to succeed, you've stripped yourself of the necessary right to fail. Chances are, to avoid the risk of failure, you'll take the easiest way out. You'll just do nothing at all. Motivation drops, fear takes over, and your great plans end up going nowhere. To summarize everything mentioned, there's a saying. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. Let me take the liberty to add another one. If you never want to start something, tell your friends about it. When you talk about your plans, you're trapping yourself. Your brain gets a false sense of completion, social approval kills your motivation, and fear of failure freezes you in place. It's better to keep your goals to yourself until you've made some real progress. Let your actions speak for you, not your words. My mission is to initiate you. Be stronger.